friends. This is Ashwath. You are watching Suhrt Talk, and today we are going to discuss about the election results in the five states. So let's start with West Bengal. Massive victory for Trinamool Congress, led by Mamata Banerjee. Though Mamata has lost the all important seat of Nandigram to rebel Suvendu Adhikari, who jumped over from TMC to BJP by a slender margin. It has been a Mamta show all over the place, right? She has been able to sort of defend this massive campaign which was mounted by the Prime Minister as well as the Home Minister. Whole lot of array of central ministers who camped um, in West Bengal, and they gave it all. They gave it everything to sort of dislodge TMC, but they have come a distant second. Nevertheless, it's a pretty impressive show, even though BJP has fallen way behind what they had claimed to have, to hit it, which is up ki bar 200 par. So they have, came pretty short to that expectation, and they are basically right now around 78 or something, right? If I'm not wrong. And Mamta has crossed 200 easily, and she is in fact basically going to have a 2/3 majority. So as we see in West Bengal, Trinamool has won 212 seats, and they are still leading in one. The results are pending for one, so it's around 213 in total. BJP has won in 77, which is an impressive jump from their, three which they won in the last assembly election. So it's an impressive jump for them. Nevertheless, there is one seat won by an independent and one by Rashtriya Secular Majlis Party. And the most important fact is the party, the CPI, the left front, as well as the Congress, which joined hand together, to basically form a third front of sorts. They have completely got wiped out. The left parties have managed a paltry, less than 5% vote share. Congress is less than 3% vote share, and their entire their vote share has got transferred to BJP, and BJP has notched almost 38% vote share, compared to the impressive almost 48% vote share of the Trinamool. So huge performance by Mamata Banerjee as well as some of the bigs of BJP. However, there are a lot of troubling facts. Now, what went wrong for the BJP? The campaign schedule was suited for the BJP in a lot of ways, and Prashant Kishore, in one of his interviews to a leading English news channel, openly lambasted the election commission for siding with the BJP with its election schedule, and the way it went around conducting 8 phases of election for a state. And he also claimed that one of the district voted in 4 different phases, just because that particular district was supposedly a Trinamool stronghold. We don't know about the facts of it. I'm just quoting what he has commented on that particular news channel. But nevertheless, the election commission has come under huge amount of criticism from Madras High Court, which has lambasted it for putting millions of people on risk by letting huge rallies go on. That is a big worry. So what has happened is, by the time the election started, and 3 or 4 phases got completed, the rest of the phases was conducted amidst huge surge in the second wave of coronavirus. and the momentum of BJP completely changed. From there on, it was all Mamata Banerjee all the way. The way Mamata Banerjee put forth was, hey, look, BJP has brought in their cadres from other states, and they have also imported the coronavirus along with them. So they have put our state into risk just because they want to win an election. And she went around making similar claims on central paramilitary forces, and that in a way has resonated with the people, if I see the results. And BJP has not done that well in the later phases. Now, in hindsight, it is anybody's guess if the results would have been any different if it was a two-phase or a three-phase election, but that is never to be. So BJP is where it is, and in my opinion, Prime Minister Modi and the central government has lost considerable amount of political currency uh, due to the ravaging second wave of COVID. And if it is not deftly handled by the central government, the BJP and the central government is going to come under more scrutiny and more pressure going on from here. Now, looking into the next state, Tamil Nadu, again a very bipolar contest over here, and it was a straight fight, a battle between the incumbent ADMK led by Edappadi Palaniswamy and O Paneerselvam, his deputy, and the challenger was MK Stalin, the heir of M Karunanidhi, and the leader of Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Now, DMK has scored an impressive victory over here. DMK on its own has won almost 133 seats. So, just on its own merit, it can form the government, but it had also included a wide range of alliance. It formed a very impressive alliance with the likes of Vidudalai Chiruthai Katchi, and then you have Congress, which has been impressive. They have won 18 seats here. The communists have have fared pretty well. They have won 4 seats, nevertheless. So it is all around a very good performance by the DMK plus parties. On the other hand, the AIDMK has done fairly well. They have not got wiped out. That is in a way reflective of the good work which was done by them by as part of their COVID-19 handling of the situation. And secondly, uh, they have allied with BJP, which won 4 here. BJP in a way has opened his account. They have won 4 seats, which is not at all bad considering the huge amount of propaganda which the Dravidians mount against BJP. BJP comes across huge amount of propaganda storm, and in a way it can also be said that BJP was a bit of a liability for the AIDMK, but nevertheless they have done well. Patali Mukkal Katchi, PMK, they have done pretty well. They have won 5 seats, though they could have scored more. A lot of seats was allocated to them, around 20-25 seats were allocated to them, if I'm not wrong, and they have just won 5, and BJP has scored 4 out of 20 allocated to them. It is a very decisive mandate for Stalin, and the public has not put all eggs in DMK's basket, and they have ensured that there is a strong opposition with the AIDMK. And some of the big losers have been TTV Dinagaran. He has drawn a blank, and he allied with Vijay Khan's party, and that too has come a cropper. Makkal Nidhi Mayam, led by Kamal Hassan, that too drew a blank. In fact, Kamal Hassan was in a pretty nail-biting finish to the Coimbatore South constituency, where The party, the seat was eventually won by BJP's Vanati Srinivasan, and it so happened that till 22 rounds of counting, Kamal was leading, and just in the last 3 rounds, Vanati took over, and she won by a slender margin of close to 1,500 odd votes. So near and yet so far for Kamal. Tough luck for him. There was a lot of support on social media for him, but nevertheless, politics has been tough, and he learned it the hard way. Now the next step for AIDMK is their party. There might be a leadership struggle. Edapati has given a strong showing, so he has in a way cemented his place as the leader of the opposition. The people have in a way rewarded Edapadi Palanisamy, but at the same time they wanted a decisive mandate to fight coronavirus. So I think people voted decisively to put a government which is not in self-doubt, which is not locking itself in a resort to save its MLAs. So it has given a very decisive mandate and more power to the governing party, the ruling party, to fight coronavirus. That's how I look into the mandate. Puducherry, the union territory of Puducherry, the All India NR Congress, they have in fact won an impressive 10 seats, and they stitched an alliance. Rangasamy, he stitched an alliance with Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP has won 6, and that is a pretty impressive figure, along with AIDMK, and DMK has won 6, and INC, Indian National Congress, has just won 2. So BJP in a way has created an inroad in Puducherry, which is impressive in its way. And the voting percentage for BJP has been an impressive 14%, and Rangasamy's party has scored an impressive 26%. Coming to Kerala, a very very strong show by LDF, and it's a vote for Pinarayi Vijayan, his deft handling of COVID second wave. In a way they had handled it pretty well, and then things deteriorated for them once folks started pouring in from Gulf to Kerala. They brought in the infections, and it was all over the place. And then in second wave they have done exceedingly well, and a lot of social schemes. One of my friend who is residing in Kerala, in fact in Kannur, when I talked to him why LDF is so popular, so he commented that LDF goes out of the way to ensure that its party members, the families of the party members, get all the benefits. For example, the example what he quoted is, there was a widowed lady, a widow of a comrade. She was differentially abled, so the cadres from the left union, the party office nearby, they used to in fact provide her provisions and all the needy items what she wanted, in fact on a daily basis. So that's the level of social entrenchment what the LDF has in Kerala, and that is reflective in the results, and they have done a pretty strong show over here. RSS has a strong footing in Kerala. They have been positioned in Kerala for a long time. They do a lot of relief efforts, but they have pretty much a long way to go in terms of breaching the fortress which LDF has cultivated over there. On the other hand, Kerala has broken the 44-year-old record of shifting between LDF and UDF, and in a way I would say UDF has squandered the opportunity. This is going to put huge amount of pressure on Rahul Gandhi's performance, he being Wayanad's MP, and the campaign was basically led by his close confidant KC Venugopal. much to the chagrin of a lot of folks in the UDF. And it has not been a good outing for the Congress at all. And in fact, LDF has in fact won 9 seats more than what it got in the 2016 election. So LDF has in a way not just retained, which has been a record of sorts, after 44 years, which is a huge thing. Not just that, but they have bettered their performance what they have in 2000, what they have done in 2016. And mind you, LDF was embroiled in the gold smuggling case, which put huge amount of pressure on Pinarayi Vijayan. But Pinarayi Vijayan was smart to have straight away said okay for NIA's probe, and that way he could shield himself from this entire saga. What happened? UDF couldn't capitalize on it. UDF kept talking in different voices. Left was also, they deftly handled the Sabrimala case, and all in all, it is basically the people have rewarded Pinrai for the strong show. Now, moving to the last state of our discussion is Assam. Assam is one place where BJP has managed to retain. BJP was in power in Assam, and though their seats have come down, their voting percentages have come down compared to the 2016 strong show. You would say right now that tying up with AIUDF in a way polarized then environment, and the Hindus in a way consolidated with the BJP strongly. That is an argument which which could be put forth. But nevertheless, the Congress has not managed to unseat the BJP in spite of the huge furor created due to the CAA and the NRC, which was raging. Or it is going to be a little interesting to see who is going to be the CM. Most probably it will be Sonwal, but Himanta has grown, leaps and bounds, and he has taken. In fact, one would say that it is more of Himanta's victory than Modi or Shah's victory. Remember, Modi and Shah were omnipresent in West Bengal. Their presence was not there in Assam much, and Hemanta was a guy who has literally carried BJP on his shoulders in Assam to victory. So overall, it has been a mixed bag of sorts for the BJP. One of the things what the people have uh, tried to communicate is that they want strong local leadership in the states, and they want an equally strong party in the center, and with these parties, which especially Bengal led by resurgent Mamata Banerjee and Stalin from TN, they are going to put more and more pressure. The opposition has already, in a way, shot off a letter to central government. Around 13 opposition leaders have written a letter asking the central government to ensure there is a free immunization program for all age groups. Now, that is going to be a very contentious issue. In a way, it is the entire vaccine policy is getting politicized now, which is not a good sign at all. And people are in dire need of vaccine. That is our only way out. Well, it's our only ticket to control COVID. COVID is not going to go anywhere, and in fact, there is going to be a third massive wave, which is expected during the month of September. And unless all the states and the center get together on war footing, things are not going to look good. Please do subscribe and hit the bell icon, to ensure that you are getting the notifications. Thanks for watching.